Bottom is a stage. Every man, well, mostly, I think so. I would assume every person, but maybe every man goes through multiple times in their life. And what rock bottom really is a sign that you're not doing what you're supposed to do, or things are about to change. It's basically a downward spiral, but there's nowhere, there's nothing below. There's nowhere else to go. You've already had, the least possible peripheral of life. But that is not completely true. That is what most people think it is. But let's say you think you think you have hit rock bottom, and what rock bottom really is when you can't take it anymore. When you're done with the bullshit, when you want to change the way your life is going, the direction your life is going in currently, and no one else decides your rock bottom but you. And you don't have to let it go bad, even though it can. Let's say you're rock bottom. Let's say you're at rock bottom right now. You're fat. You have no bitches. You have no money. But maybe you have a few friends. All right, even though they might be losers. But yeah, you have an okay social life. That does not mean that you have to lose them as well, or maybe just have a job and nothing else in your life. That does not mean you have to lose that as well to actually genuinely hit rock bottom. But how you know if, give me a sec, bro. But how you know you have actually hit rock bottom is when you can't take it anymore. And the reason I can say this is because I have gone through something like this very recently and overcame. And in my opinion, it's one of the most important part of a man's life. I cannot talk for women, but it's one of the most important part of life overall. And it's even more important to go through it multiple times in your life. I'm not saying go through it 10 times, go through it every fucking year. But as a man, you need to go through it at least 2 to 3 times in your life when you lose everything and you have to gain it all back. That means you're living a very high risk, high reward life. Especially when you're younger, you can afford more rock bottoms. And that is what I'm doing. I'm maxing it. I'm taking more risks than everyone else around me. I'm taking more risks than anyone in my bloodline. And the reason I don't end myself every time I hit rock bottom, even though it's really, really fucking hard on your mind, on my mind, on my soul, is because I know I'm built different. I know I'm built for something better, and I have total belief in myself. So if you're watching this and you hit rock bottom, first thing you need to tell us that this is very important in your life. If you have watched, what's that movie, The Matrix, that everyone talks about, if you remember the scene when Neon was getting, his name was Neon, right? Neo, yeah. When Neo was getting out of the car and Trinity was like, it's your choice to get out of the car and go back to the life you had, but I know that you don't want it. And that is what rock bottom really is when you make a decision to not continue the life that you are living right now and to change it, but you have to do it with brute force. You have to do it with brute force, and you have to just give all in, lock in. You have to isolate yourself. Do whatever it takes. Maybe it takes for you to walk on fucking broken pieces of glass. I don't fucking know. For me, it's to lock in. That's it. Go back to boxing. I've been going through an injury for 8 months. No boxing. Boxing is one of really important parts of my life. And that led me to some pretty dark places, partying, women, a lot of women, a lot of partying, a lot of alcohol, a lot of going out, a lot of socialization that I've never done in my life, and some popularity in my area as well. People starting to get to know me. People starting to invite me to places, to events. Just meeting loads and loads of different people. Some famous people, some important people, some decent parties that people want to go to but don't get invites to. So overall, every man has to hit rock bottom. Excuse me, I'm making a video after a very long time. But yeah. And what you can really do in these times is take control. And you have to use this as a metaphor. Let's say you're in a swimming pool and you're a 3 foot midget, okay? And it's a 6 feet swimming pool, and you go all the way to the bottom and you're drowning. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do when your feet touches the ground? You're gonna use that to push yourself back up, and that is what rock bottom really is for. It's for you to jump off of it with brute force and force yourself back on the surface so you can take a breather, swim back, and conquer. And in these times, what you really need to do is not overthink, not listen to sad music, not listen to sad movies. Actually, just leave entertainment altogether. Go to the gym. Very important. When you hit rock bottom, going to the gym is one of the most important parts you need to be doing every single day. Discipline is the key. And you need to focus. You need to have one thing that you really, 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 really focus on to achieve. And in that one thing, whether it's fitness, whether it's sports, whether it's business, whether it's your job, whether it's your school, doesn't matter. In that one thing what you really need, and you quickly need it, and that should be your first goal, is to get one small win. And right after you get that win, and it needs to be something easy, okay? It needs to be something easy that makes you reset everything. Okay, I can do this. And as soon as you get that small win, what you need to do is you need to set another small win. And then over time, just keep repeating that. You will be on the surface again, bro. It really is that simple. You don't have to complicate life. But you have to make sure you give it your all. You make sure you're ready to do whatever it takes. And you do it for your family, you do it for yourself, and you do it for God.